皆さんこんにちは。Hello everyone, I'm Kumi from Speak Japanese Naturally. Welcome back to this pronunciation series. Last time we worked on the Aiueo table. Today we'll learn the sounds from this section. Some of these characters can be a little tricky to pronounce. Pronunciation is one of the keys to sounding natural in Japanese. But it's really hard to notice your own mistakes when you practice alone. So if you'd like direct feedback from me, you can join my subscription course.If you join the standard or premium plan, I'll personally check your pronunciation and help you improve. So you can stop wondering, am I saying this right? Now let's get started. Your task today is to record yourself reading these sounds. So please listen carefully and practice along. First, I'll explain the sounds one by one. These hiragana with dots are called dakuon or voiced sounds. So when you see dots, it means the consonant is voiced.For example, ka with dots becomes ga. So these are ga gi gu ge go. Some people pronounce them nasally, especially when they appear in the middle of a word or as a particle, like in kagami or watashi ga. In my experience, that nasal sound is mostly used by people in their 70s or older. To me, the non-nasal ga gi gu ge go sounds more natural.Announcers are trained to use the nasal version, but younger generations don't use it as much. Please repeat after me. Ga gi gu ge go. Ga gi gu ge go. Next, zaji zu ze zo. When they come at the beginning of a word, after n or are pronounced clearly on their own, your tongue touches the roof of your mouth.za, ji, zu, ze, zo. But in the middle of a word, when they're not pronounced so clearly, we tend to say them without the tongue touching the roof of the mouth. Za, ji, zu, ze, zo. We do it unconsciously, and actually to Japanese people's ears, they both sound the same. So you can use either. Please repeat after me. Za, ji, zu, ze, zo.za, ji, zu, ze, zo. Now let's move on to da, ji, zu, de, do. These are pronounced in the same way as ta, ji, zu, de, do, except they have voiced consonants. Ji and zu sound exactly the same as ji and zu, respectively. As I mentioned earlier, there are actually two versions. Ji, ji, zu, zu.Can you hear the difference? If not, that's okay because Japanese people can't hear the difference. You can use either sound. If you can hear the difference, just keep in mind, ji doesn't necessarily mean this character, and ji doesn't necessarily mean this character. The same goes these two. They sound the same, and they have two possible pronunciations. Also, ji appears only in certain words. You don't see it very often. Please repeat after me.da, ji, zu, de, do. Da, ji, zu, de, do. Now let's move on to babi, bu, be, bo. They're not difficult, I guess. The consonant is the same as the English b sound. Please repeat after me. Babi, bu, be, bo. Be careful with the vowels. Babi, bu, be, bo.Now please look at this. Pa, pi, pu, pe, po. Only the hahifuheo characters can have a circle in the top right. This circle shows that the consonant changes to p. So they become pa, pi, pu, pe, po. Please repeat after me. Pa, pi, pu, pe, po. Pa, pi, pu, pe, po. Now let's move on to the contracted sounds.The important thing here is, even though these hiragana are written with two characters, they are pronounced as the same length as a single character hiragana, one mora. For example, byo is made of bi and yo, but you pronounce it as a single mora, byo, byo. This might be the first time you're hearing the word mora. It's a very important concept in Japanese rhythm, so please remember it. A mora is a length of one character.All of these characters have the same length, one mora. So each sound is pronounced with the same length. For example, this a and i, these two has the same length. And also, byo, kya, these have the same length. That is one mora. We'll talk more about mora when we learn about long vowels and small tsu. For today, what's important is contracted sounds also count as one mora. So a and byo have the same length. Both of them have the same amount of time to say. You shouldn't pronounce it as biyo because biyo has two mora. Many English speakers tend to say biyo instead of byo. They are actually very different to Japanese people's ears. Can you hear the difference? Biyo, byo, biyo, byo. When you look at this row, they all include a small ya. So they all end in the ya sound with the same mouth shape. So when you pronounce them, think of ya as a main sound and then add ki in front of it. Ya, ya, kya, ya, ya, kya. Please remember, you have to say them with the length of one mora. Let's read them horizontally. Please repeat after me. Kya, gya, sha, ja, cha, nya, hya, bya, pya, mya, dya, kyu, gyu, shu, ju, chu, nyu, hyu, byu, pyu, myu, ryu, kyo, gyo, sho, jo, cho, nyo, hyo, byo, pyo, myo, ryo. Please be careful the vowel u in yu and o in yo. Now let's read it vertically. That's actually the usual way to read this table. Please repeat after me. Kya kyu kyo. Gya gyu gyo. Sha shu sho. Ja ju jo. Cha chu cho. Nya nyu nyo. Hya hyu hyo. Bya byu byo. Pya pyu pyo. Mya myu myo. Rya ryu ryo. Now let's practice some words that are tricky to pronounce. The first one, Kyoto. I'm sure you've heard of this place. The u after the vowel o is pronounced as o. So Kyoto is actually pronounced as Kyo-o-to. Kyo-o and to all have the same length. One more, 8. Please repeat after me. Kyo-o-to. Kyoto. Next, 病院 and 美容院. In both words, u is pronounced as o, since it comes after the vowel o in 病. 病院 has 4 mora, and 美容院 has 5 mora. If you pronounce 病 as 美容, which has 2 mora, people will think you're saying 美容院 instead of 病院. Please remember this rhythm. 病院、美容院、病院、美容院. Now please repeat after me. 病院、美容院、病院、美容院. Lastly, it's recording time. Now please read the table and also the words 京都, 病院 and 美容院. And record the best version and listen to it. How did it feel to record and listen to your own voice? If it was your first time, you might have felt a bit uncomfortable, but I promise that feeling will go away sooner rather than later. What's important is that recording your voice and listening to it critically can really change how you speak. It helps you become aware of the parts that you need to work on. These contracted sounds are something that many learners struggle with. If you're not sure whether you're getting them right, don't worry, that's normal. The truth is, it's really hard to improve pronunciation on your own because you don't always notice your own mistakes. That's why feedback is very important. And if you'd like feedback to know how exactly you're doing, you can join my subscription course. In the standard or premium plan, I'll personally check your pronunciation and give you clear guidance on what to adjust. You can go much deeper into pronunciation, rhythm, pitch accent, and intonation. Keep practicing and I'll see you in the next video. 一緒に頑張りましょう。